it can just really surprise you, basically. Like, you can think that you know someone, but there are parts of themselves that people can keep quite hidden. When you actually are exposed to that, it can be really powerful, and it makes you realize that most people are not really as they seem. That's not all of them. If you take people at face value, you're missing out on the fact that there's probably a hell of a lot that you don't know.
What's something meaningful you've learned that would have been impossible to learn without taking drugs?
Oh, that's a really good question. Do you mind if I think on it while I go for a piss real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll join.
It when I can.
I'll join you.
That was a good piss.
Right on.
Yeah, there's two things, I guess. We've both been consuming far too many fluids today, it seems.
Oh yeah,
I already knew that, and for some reason I've sat here sipping from this the whole interview as well.
It goes back to that oral fixation of sipping on something during a podcast. It just doesn't feel right to do it without something.
Yeah, you're like, oh, you keep having little breaks to find. I keep doing it. Yeah, I don't know why. So one, I guess, is more personal. Like, you don't. It just that you can know people and they can like really surprise you, and that's a thing that's come up time and again on various drugs, where like it's this really surreal, uncanny experience you can have with people where they tell you something you didn't know about them, and you're like, whoa, and it's like, it's really interesting because it's like they've just peeled back a layer of themselves, and you're seeing it's the same person, but you see them in a totally different light, and it's really, I guess it's kind of beautiful. It's certainly profound. It's like, wow, I had absolutely no idea you felt that way. You know, a person you know well, or maybe you don't know them that well, whoever it is, it could be a person you know really well, and they can just really surprise you, basically. Like, you can think that you know someone, but there are parts of themselves that people can keep quite hidden, and when you actually are exposed to that, it can be really powerful, and it makes you realize that most people are not really as they seem. Like, that's not all of them. If you take people at face value, you're missing out on the fact that there's probably a hell of a lot that you don't know about them. Most people, I mean, some people are just fucking boring. Like, some people you take drugs with them and you're like, wow, oh yeah, you're pretty much as I thought you were, but some people, they really, they can really like blow your mind in that way. And the other thing, which I guess is similar in a way, but the thing when I had a more positive ayahuasca experience, I realized is that everything around you, everything, whether it's in your mind or in the world, there's information in everything. And normally we can't really access this information. Like, we're not in tune with it. And we're not in tune with the sort of infinite learning that is possible when you're fully open. And I experienced this complete openness on ayahuasca once, and it made me realize, like, I remember looking at like water dripping from a leaf, and I was absorbing information I couldn't comprehend. And then when I would have a thought about that, every thought I had, I was learning from the previous thought, and I was like, I had that thought because I'm like this, and the reason I'm like this is because I think of things like this, and the reason I'm even having this is because I'm looking at this, and this is, and it was like, it was just like the same world that you always see, a bit like how, with a person, it's the same person you always see, and you think that you're seeing everything, and you're fucking not, man. Like you're seeing, it's like, even though you can see clearly, and you're from your eyes, your actual vision, your actual perception, it's like there's like fucking 10 foggy layers of glass in front of it. And for a moment I could like see everything. And I realized that if you're in tune in the right way and you're open in the right way, like any experience, anything that you perceive, any moment, every second has this like potential to it that is huge. And I can't access that easily now, but it's like we were talking about earlier, it makes you realize, okay, like, it's very much worth thinking a lot, and it's very much worth digesting things mentally and taking them in and trying to extract value and positivity from like anything and everything, because it is there. It's us that limits it. It's not, it is there.